Have you ever thought about how much water you waste throughout one day? An average American uses 80 to 100 gallons of water per day, and it all goes right down the drain. Has it ever crossed your mind that the world could run out of water?
Have you ever realized that regions in need of fresh water don't have it, but regions that do have it waste ridiculous amounts daily? Maybe that's why California is in its drought. Yes, there has been little rain, but yes, we also waste so much water every day.
California is running out of water, and the problem started before our current drought. 38 billion gallons of water are used every day in California. The farming industry is using 80% of the water when they're only 2% of the economy. The drought is killing 12 million trees in California's national forest.
Can't we conserve water like Singapore?
Singapore's water supply comprises of 1. Local catchment water, 2. Imported water, 3. Highly purified, reclaimed water, known as new water, and 4. Desalinated water, all known as the 4 national taps. Their desalination plant produces 30 million gallons of water per day. Singapore is using their water 3 times before they let it down the drain.
Is there any way California can get out of its drought?
Desalination is one big way we can get fresh water.
Yet, it's the cost of not doing the plant is more expensive. This project, it's interesting that this project is not a new water supply. The existing supplies are on the Carmel River, and we're removing our water withdrawals from the river to restore the river for the steelhead trout. So it's not just a desal plant, it's restoration of the Carmel River. We're also removing a dam to help the fish and the frogs and all the habitat on the river. And because of that, we also have to stop withdrawing the water from the river. So that's the impetus for the desal plant. So it's a bunch of stuff, but the cost of not doing the project is that this entire area has no water source, and the economic impacts are enormous.
Seawater is pumped at a speed 3 times slower than a fish swims. This water is then filtered to remove all particles such as algae and sand. After this stage, only molecules of water and salt remain. The salt water is then sent at a very high pressure through an extremely fine membrane. The pressure exerted on the water during this process is equivalent to 100 elephants standing on a manhole cover. This is called reverse osmosis. The energy produced by this process is partly recovered and reused to operate the plant. For every 2 liters of salt water pumped, we obtain 1 liter of pure and demineralized water. The other liter of water, called brine, is twice as salty. After being treated and diluted, it is returned to its natural marine environment. The pure water is enriched with mineral salts essential for human health. And the water is then distributed in the drinking water network, all the way to the tap.
When Israel was in the drought, the government actually considered shipping in water from Turkey more than 1,000 miles away. The country invested in Sork, the world's largest desalination plant, a roughly $500 million project. The desalination plant is constructed along Israel's Mediterranean coast. 50% of Israel's water comes from the ocean. Israel is now one of the most hydrated countries in the world.
So the state, it's a good question. The state itself doesn't want you just to go do desal if you haven't tried anything else. So they want you to first conserve water, right? And the Monterey Peninsula has been serving water since the 90s, and they're one of the lowest users in the state of water. So the residents of this area have done a great job conserving water, and there are no other water sources left. It's the only choice over here. So desalinization, in the end, it's the last resort. So you got to maximize everything else, all your efficiencies, and then you can turn to desal. That's what they've done here.
$3.4 billion people will be living in water-scarce countries by 2025. When water is scarce, people are forced to consume contaminated water.
Approximately 400 billion gallons of water are used per day in the United States. 1% of the world's water is drinkable and has remained the same for over 2 billion years.
If you want to donate water to a kid in need, go to water.org. Click the donate button, type in any amount you want. You can make this a monthly gift, or you don't have to. You type in your email and your first name and your last name. You type in your address line 2, your city, your state, your zip code, your country, your card number, your CVC, your expiration, and more.